Hey, what is up guys, MiniBrick here, back with another mock showcase video, and today I am thrilled to share my version of a LEGO Fortnite creation. A brick-built Drift and Sunstrider skin from Fortnite Season 5. I've teamed up with Brickspiration Studios to bring you what I envisioned when asked to build around the theme of the popular video game. Now for those of you who've never played Fortnite, it's basically this extremely popular third-person shooter game where you get to build, fight, dance, and overall just have a great time either by yourself or with friends. When coming up with ideas on what to build from Fortnite, it was incredibly challenging to start right off the bat, as much of the game revolves around a cartoony style which is hard to translate into LEGO. I also wanted to spring off from just creating locations found throughout the map, like I've done in the past on my channel, and ultimately decided to recreate skins centered around a brick-built style. Before we get on to the showcase, I kindly ask that if you haven't seen Brickspiration Studios' video yet, please make sure to check it out after this one. I'll have it linked in the description as well as on the card in the upper right hand corner of this video. Now without further waiting, let's move on to our first skin, Drift. I first started building the head before I began with the rest of the body, since I needed a foundation to lay out the scale and proportions I would need to move on. Giving you a 360-degree overview, you can see that I managed to fit as many details from the actual skin and tried to mimic the overall shape of the body. I did my best to keep the colors consistent throughout, yet it was somewhat challenging as his jacket uses this dark pink accent which is hard to come by in LEGO. There were some instances where I had to replace some areas, such as his back, with a darker pink variant in order to fill in his torso, but I think it turned out okay since it's hard to tell anyways. After finishing Drift, I felt that I needed to have something more to him, which is why I decided to create a small section from the island to act like a base plate where he can stand on. I also went ahead and added a med kit floating on the ground to resemble scattered loot. Everything here was fairly simple to build and only used up very little time to make. In addition, for an accessory, I built this common rifle which was inspired from the other versions people have made in the past and tweaked it a little to fit in this scale. I also gave it a 1x1 brick with a stud on the side to make it so that you can easily let Drift hold onto it. When thinking about how to replicate Drift's arms, I used mixel joints to give him more flexibility to pose around in various ways. Unfortunately, I ran out of these pieces, so I needed to come up with another way to give Sunstrider arms that had similar joint movement. Stay tuned to see how I was able to overcome that. His legs use hinge plates to allow him to bend in any way you'd want him to, without having it fall easily like normal hinge clips. Taking our attention away from Drift, I also felt like having one figure display wasn't enough and decided to go ahead and replicate the Sunstrider skin found in the same season's Battle Pass. Again, I started with the head since it is usually the easiest part to build. However, what I found the most challenging was the fact that she had a ponytail. Through the use of building sideways, I managed to add a decently convincing ponytail and was satisfied with how it turned out. Another obstacle I experienced was with recreating the torso, since female Fortnite skins have skinnier bodies, which if I were to use the same version as Drift's body, would appear strange and throw the entire build off. Also, because I was drained in supply of mixel joints, I was left with no other choice but to make her right arm a little bit shorter than her left arm. I knew this would look a little funky, which is why I specifically chose to give her a pump shotgun. Her other hand holds onto the end of the pump and fixes this weird throw-off issue. As for her base plate, it seemed appropriate to place her in a small area of land taken from what used to be Paradise Palms. I centered this around Drift's base plate to keep a constant theme and used the same snot techniques found in that one. As for her item, I made a mini shield potion out of a clear dome and filled it with trans-clear circular tiles. I personally loved how this turned out. In the end, Sunstrider was the second yet hardest skin to recreate in LEGO form, but I was really satisfied with how I was able to pull this one off. Overall, this collab was a lot of fun as it really stretched out my imagination in terms of what to create from Fortnite. I hope you enjoyed this video and please be sure to leave a comment on what you guys thought about it. Also, don't forget to check out Brickspiration Studios' amazing Fortnite mock over on his channel. But with all that out of the way, thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Peace.